One of the most talented players in this draft has had a pretty interesting path to the place he is today. So let's see how Drake London got here. Drake London was a natural-born athlete, and his one-of-a-kind love for his little Tykes basketball hoop was proof of that. Each and every day after coming home from preschool, he would go straight to the hoop and just start shooting. And if he wasn't able to, then he would start crying. I mean, there's nothing more natural-born than playing basketball every day as only a preschooler. And so, as you could guess, no matter what sport he played, it seemed like Drake could excel, without that much of a learning curve, as his father called it, physical genius, and his mother simply called it magic. As he grew up, Drake was able to expand his horizons by playing soccer t-ball flag football along with good old track and field. But as his mother would say, it always came down to basketball and football, although he was drawn to both. Going back to the little Tykes days, basketball was his first love. So, as you could guess, at Moon Park, High Drake was able to do his thing on both the basketball court and the football field, as his hair hit over 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns as a stellar wideout and averaged nearly 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 4 assists, as he was just phenomenal, no matter what he did. Considering how well he played, it was no surprise that my man had offers from schools like USC and Virginia. For basketball in UCLA, USC, and Virginia, among 20 others, for his insane play on the football field. Although basketball was his first love, considering his one-of-a-kind talent. At wideout, Drake decided to choose USC to do his thing on the football field, along with the hope to at least try to get on the basketball court when he could. Drake may have gotten on the court for a few games, but where he really shined was on the football field, over 5,500 yards and 5 touchdowns in only 8 games as a freshman is a ridiculous on a team like USC, but it was no surprise to those who already knew that he had star potential since he was a kid. That same potential had not been lost from a man Drake. And so, going into his sophomore year, I'm sure he was looking to prove that, and much more with the Trojans. Well, in the times that he did end up playing, he was a stud with over 500 yards and 3 touchdowns in only 6 games, a nearly 85-yard average, as only a sophomore was solid. But since he wasn't able to play a full season due to a certain virus, it didn't seem that way on paper. Nonetheless, in what was looking to be his first full season with the team, Drake wanted to prove that he could take his game to a whole another level. And through the 8 games that he did end up playing, Drake was about as good as any wide receiver in college football, with nearly 100 yards and 7 touchdowns. If a certain ankle injury didn't have something to say about his ridiculous production, Drake would have likely won the blinded cough. But his first team All Pac-12 nod and Pac-12 Offense Player of the Year win were not all too shabby. Even in the limited season, Drake was still able to catch the football world by storm, as he quickly became one of the biggest prospects in the whole thing, at nearly 6 feet 4 inches, 220 pounds. Drake is one of the tallest offensive weapons in his draft class, but it brings much more to the table than just his physical attributes. There are not many guys at his size, let alone wide receivers, who can catch like Drake can. And as you could guess, it makes him a matchup nightmare. His size, strength, and catching ability make him a commodity. Not only does he just bring insane on-the-field talent, but wanting a billion commitment and dedication, as his high school football coach would say. I'm sure it's a bit of an exaggeration, but I would say the statement alone tells you everything you need to know about good old Mr. London. He doesn't just have the talent, but the work ethic and commitment to get better and better each and every day. And that's not something that you can find in every prospect. Sure, there are great players or great teammates, But when you combine them both with a one-of-a-kind work ethic, you get someone who many would call special in area scout. In the AFC recognized his unique ability by talking about how he has really special ball skills and will test better than people think because of his limited exposure. It's crazy to think, but it's likely that his first full season will be in the NFL, and it will give Drake the ability to show just how much he can bring to the table. Anyways, even though he wasn't able to run the 40-yard dash because of his season-ending ankle injury, Drake simply said, "Watch the film." And although he doesn't blow by guys, he doesn't really have to. To have that level of confidence in your abilities pretty well. But considering what he's done in the limited time that he's been able to do his thing, I would say he's lived up to it. I mean, it's why he's projected to go within the top 15, and why he could very well be one of the best weapons, not just wide receivers, but weapons on the offensive side in the entire draft. At Moore Park High School, Drake quickly made his mark. He was a two-sport athlete, excelling in both football and basketball. As a wide receiver, he was nearly unstoppable, tall, physical, and deceptive with his speed. In his senior year, he had 1,089 receiving yards and 12 touchdowns, and also shined on the basketball court, averaging over 29 points per game. His performances sparked interest from multiple colleges for both sports. What made him unique wasn't just his stats, it was how he played, fearlessly going over the middle, boxing out defenders like a power forward, and treating every ball in the air like a rebound that belonged to him. Drake committed to the University of Southern California, choosing to pursue both football and basketball. But it wasn't long before football claimed his full focus. As a true freshman, he wasted no time, putting up 567 yards and 5 touchdowns. His sophomore season in 2020, shortened by the pandemic, still showcased his development. He became a favorite target for USC quarterbacks with his ability to win contested catches and move the chains. In 2021, now fully dedicated to football, Drake exploded onto the national scene. In just 8 games, before suffering a season-ending ankle injury, he had already posted 88 catches, 1,084 yards, and 7 touchdowns. Despite the injury, he was named the Pac-12 Offensive Player of the Year. His dominance, even in a shortened season, proved he was NFL ready. In the 2022 NFL Draft, Drake London was selected 8th overall by the Atlanta Falcons, making him the first wide receiver taken that year. It was a validation of his relentless work ethic, his patience, and his belief in himself. There were doubters. Some questioned his top-end speed. Others brought up his injury. But what Drake brought to the Falcons was undeniable. A physical, 6'4" receiver with a basketball player's body and footwork, capable of changing games with one jump ball. Anyways, what do you guys think? Is Drake London the best wideout in the draft? Or is he just pure hype? Let me know in the comments down below. Drake London has a name for football, but his ridiculous talent backs it up. And so, should be pretty dope to see what he can do on the next London level. Hello, thanks for watching the video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to subscribe, like and comment down below stuff you want next. But anyway, see you all soon.